What's good, Commanders fans? So the draft has wrapped up. So now we got some undrafted guys. Ron Rivera last year only signed one undrafted free agent, and Jared Patterson this year he signed about like 8 or 9 guys. I was really surprised to see the list. You know, guys just tweeting that they've been signed or seeing the tweets that we've signed some undrafted guys. Of course, you know we had to get some linebackers. We got a couple tight ends too. We got a couple wide receivers that I really like. Want to go over those guys, and we got another quarterback, Cole Kelly, who's 6'7", tall as crap. Went to Arkansas and then transferred to Southern Louisiana, something like that. Won the Walter Payton Award. Can run, very athletic as well. So I'm gonna talk about him just a little bit, but yeah, I was very surprised that Ron went out there and signed a bunch of guys. But he said he wanted to sign 5 or 8 guys in the press conference. So I'll talk about the draft, recap the draft in a different video. But they just played it safe. Did they get a lot of starters? No, but they got a lot of rotational guys. Like the defensive tackle is going to be a rotational guy. Brian Robinson is going to share carries with Antonio Gibson. The safety, Percy Butler, we'll see. He's not going to start, but he'll be a rotational guy, great special teams guy. Cole Turner, once again, is another backup, but I think he's going to be really talented. I like Cole Turner. I like his upside a lot. And his catch radius. He's super athletic, and he's got really good hands too. So, but I'll recap the draft later, and then let's talk about some free agents that hopefully we can pick up. Landon Collins, maybe bring him back. Eric Flowers, maybe bring him back. We'll see. And then maybe get another veteran linebacker. We'll see, just to add some depth to the roster. So those are some of the needs that you can take a look at for the team remaining. But yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of clicking noise here because I had to use my other computer here, but I want to go over the wide receivers first. This guy, Jaquez Ezra, went to Howard University, then transferred to Sam Houston State. He's very shifty, very electric, very elusive. Definitely could come in and be our punt returner next year, our kick returner. I know Jahan Dotson can do it too. He did it at Penn State, but this guy, Jaquez Ezra, is electric, man. Can make a guy miss in a phone booth, 5'10", 195 pounds. Hometown is Georgia, but like I said, went to Howard University as well. Was on the Walter Payton Award watch list. Has solid hands, not great hands. Kind of uses his body a little bit in his chest to catch with the football, but he can make you miss in a phone booth. Very electric too. That's what I like about him. He ran a 4.43 40, 5'9", 190 pounds. But like I said, he could come in and really fill that DeAndre Carter role. Kind of really shifty, like when Steven Sims was good the year before with Dwayne Haskins. That's what he reminds me of. Shifty, just making guys miss. Can run more of a slot receiver. It looks like Ron Rivera is looking for these small, short, kind of smurf guys that are quick, elusive, really good in the middle of the field, have great speed, great change of direction, all that. So this guy's super like really make guys miss in a phone booth, like making NBA crossover moves, making guys miss type stuff, and really good contact balance. You look at the strengths at the right up, combine speed and balance and quickness. So he's really good at breaking tackles. Just really elusive. Just really, really good balance. Really good contact balance. He has elite balance, tightrope in the sideline and in and out of his break, showing excellent start-stop ability. Yeah, good on comeback routes. Like I said, a lot of crossovers. Yeah, they said it has elite speed and cutting ability and good hands and toughness. Lacks the ideal size, but has a similar body type to Antonio Brown. So I'm intrigued by him. I really think he can make the roster. It's between Dax and Milne. We'll see. I think these guys are definitely gonna push him for that last wide receiver spot. Weaknesses does not always use his hands to secure deep throws, allowing the ball to hit his pads into his pads and chest. So those are the weaknesses with him. But I see a lot of strengths in him. Very electric guy. I think he can definitely push to make the roster. Put up numbers too. Was on the Walter Payton Award watch list. AFCA All-American first team punt returner. So I like what I see from this guy. I like him a lot. Preseason All-American, all that. The other wide receiver, I like him too. I'm debating on which one I like more out of the two. This guy's another small, compact guy too. More of a slot receiver, 5'11", 198 pounds. That's what I'm saying. Ron is really liking these smaller slot wide receivers that really have no problem getting open and create separation. That's the way I feel too. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I want a 6'5" guy. But no, I like the guys that create separation. That's what I'm about. And these guys have no problem creating separation and operating in space. So McGowan, he ran a 4.59 40-yard dash, but he looks a lot faster. But he had 21 bench press reps. So he's a strong little small compact guy. He kind of looks like Curtis Samuel there because he played running back, he played kick returner and wide receiver. So he offers a lot of position flexibility. So you can be very creative. Same thing with Jaquez too. in arounds, jet sweeps, throwing screen passes. You can definitely get creative with these guys, getting these guys in space so they can make plays happen. They both are small little burner guys. This guy, he transferred to, went to Northwestern first, then went to Georgia Tech. Has 7 touchdowns at Georgia Tech his last year, 467 receiving yards. They didn't use him as a running back much at Georgia Tech, but at Northwestern they certainly did. He had 141 rushing yards with 24 carries in 2020 before he transferred to Georgia Tech. But I like this guy. He's tough too. He's tough. He breaks a lot of tackles, so he has a lot of contact balance too. Very explosive, very good in the middle of the field, very good at creating separation, all that. Very similar, kind of like a baby Curtis Samuel there, in my opinion. You can definitely use him as a running back out there. So I'm very intrigued by Kyric McCown. I like him a lot. A lot of toughness too. Tough to bring down. I like him a lot. So we'll quickly go over Cole Kelly. The thing about him that instead of looking at his bio, I hate that this is the first thing I'll bring up, but he was arrested and charged with a DWI in 2017. Later pled guilty to the charge. That did surprise me a little bit that Ron Rivera is bringing this guy in. But who cares? He can play. That was like, what, 4 or 5 years ago now. He won the Walter Payton Award as well. So look at his strengths. The ball comes out effortlessly. I see that he gets the ball out very quickly. Has a good arm. Only thing, he underthrows guys on deep throws a little bit. That's the critique that I have. But man, he's like a bowling ball out there too. I seen him run and he hurdled somebody. Like, this guy is more athletic than what you think for a 6'7" guy. Like I said before, he went to Arkansas and then transferred to Southern Louisiana. 6'7", 249 pounds. You look at some of the numbers, man. Ranked 3rd in FCS with 44 passing touchdowns and with 16 rushing touchdowns. He won the Walter Payton Award. 18 touchdowns, 4 picks. So, we did sign Steven Montez. So maybe this guy, I'm not going to say he's like that Taysom Hill role where they wanted him to be like a tight end. They wanted Steven Montez to be a tight end, a quarterback, and somewhat of a running back, just using him with versatility. This one in this NFL.com, they said that he has the body of a tight end. So who knows? He could convert into a tight end. Excuse me. We did sign Amari Rogers, who went to what school did Amari Rogers go to? Ohio. And then Amari Rogers went to UNLV. And he's converting to a tight end. But Amari Rogers, he was a running quarterback too. This guy was a dual threat quarterback too. This guy, Cole Kelly, is a dual quarterback too. So, the taller quarterbacks that came out, Paxton Lynch, excuse me, Brock Osweiler, those guys, all tall, 6'5" or taller. But some of his good things, his strength over the top delivery makes him even taller in the pocket. Delivers drive throws to deep middle velocity. Bulldozing option as a red zone runner. Yeah, he's a red zone threat. So if he does make the roster somehow or has to play one day, then he could be another red zone option as a receiver, honestly, because he's just a big body, and as a runner. Had at least 1 rushing touchdown in 10 or 13 games. So like I said, when I watch him, he gets the ball out quick, throws with a little bit of anticipation, not much, but he gets the ball out quick, good reads. I think he's a solid undrafted free agent pickup, a guy that you can definitely develop and mold. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. Next guy we got, like I already talked about, Marty Rogers. Ran a 4.75 40-yard dash, 6'5", 226 pounds. Went to UNLV, then transferred to Ohio. Did not really play tight end that much. So a lot of the write-ups on him is talking about his quarterbacking. But this guy had a 99-yard touchdown run. A 99-yard touchdown, which is, shows off the speed. He was second on the team with 552 rushing yards on 92 carries and 7 touchdowns. So this guy can run, man. Like Logan Thomas, we converted him into it, or he was already converted into a tight end. So who knows? Maybe it can work out again. Logan Thomas ran the ball a lot at Virginia Tech. Same thing with this guy, Marty Rogers. So, I think that 99-yard run is set a record. Yeah, it was Rogers recorded the NCAA record for the longest run by a quarterback with 99 yards. So that shows the athleticism. I'm intrigued by him. I'm very intrigued by Marty Rogers. Very intrigued. Next, we signed a linebacker. His name out of Notre Dame. Actually, I'll go to Farrah Gardner first. I like him. He's got some speed to him. Probably a weak side linebacker, maybe a Buffalo nickel, as everybody, as Ron Rivera loves talking about that position, the Buffalo nickel. Excuse me. He could possibly play that. But he's got some speed, man. Got some change of direction. I think he could be really, really good in coverage. 6'3", 209 pounds. Definitely got some speed to him. Definitely got to keep him clean, though, so he can navigate through traffic and get back there. But he's a sideline-to-sideline guy. He's got some speed to him. He's a violent hitter as well. Look at some of his pros, athletically gifted. You could definitely see that. Really good in short area quickness, speed, flipping his hips, running with tight ends. So I'm intrigued with him. He might fool around and make the roster. Gardner helps stretch the field laterally and works well as the force player to initiate blocks and fill gaps adequately. He sets the edge and at the very least has knowledge of the importance to scrape to contain the running back. So I like what I see from him a lot. Still has area concern from the start. Plays with a high pad level and that carries over into the rest of the game. Although he would meet blockers head on, he seldomly engages with his hands. So he's definitely got to work on that. The other guy, Tom White from Notre Dame. Trying to find him real quick. I'll talk about Curtis Hodge. Just Curtis Hodge, another tight end. 6'8", ran a 4.8 40-yard dash, which is very athletic for somebody who's 6'8". Very athletic. The only thing is, he had a lot of injuries. Of course, he played basketball in high school, but he had a lot of injuries throughout his career. Didn't put up a lot of production either. He only had like 300, just 36 catches in his 5 seasons at Arizona State. So he had a lot of injuries, but he's got some mobile. He's got some mobility to him, some wiggle to him for a guy that's 6'8". Man, he can move around a little bit. So I'm intrigued with him. Kind of reminds me of Donald Parham a little bit, who we had a couple years ago, who was 6'8", who could just go up and get it, man. So I'm intrigued by that too. So it's really going to push Sammy's Reyes too, man. We got a load of tight ends on the roster, man. We got John Bates, Logan, now Cole Turner, now Marty Rogers, now this guy Curtis Hodges, Curtis Hodges out of Arizona State. So I'm intrigued, but just had a lot of, the only thing is, you guys are going to go for his legs and chop block. That's the only thing with him. And he has to work on his strength. Also has to work on his hands a little bit too. Durability concerns, wasted motion getting in and out of breaks. So that's the concerns with him. But I think, he can be a good cam body, definitely make the practice squad for sure. Looking at this guy, Drew White, that's his name out of Notre Dame. Drew White is his name. Ran a 4.75 40-yard dash, linebacker at Notre Dame, played with Kyle Hamilton, played with some talented guys, played with JOK as well. But when I watch him, not the fastest guy, not the most change of direction either. Probably wouldn't put him, man-to-man coverage on tight ends, really. But he can definitely drop back in zone coverage. I saw him tip a pass, and Kyle Hamilton got the interception. So he has great instincts. He's a smart player. When I watch him, it kind of reminds me of David Mayo a little bit. Just a smart player. Is going to hit the gaps. Is going to line guys up. He's more of a middle linebacker. He's more of a Mike. Ran a 4.75 40-yard dash, 6 feet, 227 pounds. Has the tackle production. His sophomore year had 80 tackles. His senior year had 55 tackles, 1 interception, 1 pass deflection, and 2 fumble recoveries. So he's always there in the right spot at the right time. Great instincts, solid tackler as well. Really playing good moving forward. Really good playing downhill as well. So I think Drew White is a solid pickup. You look at his strengths, a bit stiff in the hips, but breaks down well and delivers forceful contact, flashing the ability to create turnovers. This is a short, squatly built to slip through gaps quickly. Legitimate NFL caliber instincts. Weaknesses: a 1-speed player lacking dynamic qualities and doesn't look natural at reverse. Lacks the fluidity to be consistent dropping against the pass with unpolished cover skills. So yeah, he just looks like David Mayo. He's more of a smart guy. He's gonna be in the right places, getting guys lined up in the right spot. So I don't mind the pickup as an undrafted free agent. Tyrese Robinson, we got another offensive lineman. He can play tackle. He can play guard as well. Definitely brings position flex as well. Robinson started in all 14 games in 2019, 12 at right guard, 2 at right tackle in 2019, and then 11 games at right guard in 2020. He was second team all Big 12 conference selection in 2021, starting all 12 games for the Sooners at right tackle. So I feel like watching him, he'll probably be more of a guard, and we need depth. Really a tackle at both. Anywhere on the offensive line, we just need depth, to be honest with you. You came out of Oklahoma, 6'3", 317 pounds, ran a 5.25 40-yard dash. Got a little bit of speed to him for a big fellow. But you look at the strengths: broad chest with powerful upper body, very violent, finishes plays very strong, tough and nasty on the field. We need that nastiness from the guy. I think he's very talented. Strong hands to clamp up opponents. Weaknesses has footwork issues, leaves little margin for error, lacks lateral movement for outside zone. Poor agility to make fluid move blocks. Loose hand techniques lead to grab and hug. So he does have to work on his technique, but I like that he's nasty and he plays with a lot of aggression out there and finishes plays. So that's what I'm looking for from our offensive linemen out there. I think that's everybody. We got this guy named Devin Taylor from Bowling Green. Yeah, we got this guy, Devin Taylor from Bowling Green out there. You know, Ron signed, he signed a lot of guys. So this guy, he didn't test well with the raw score at all. Not very athletic. He ran a 4.62 40, so that's not good for a 6'1", 200-pound cornerback out there. But he's like solid at everything. His good instincts. He's a very smart player. You look at his strength, savvy, cover skills to recognize and anticipate routes. Understands what's coming and has good ball skills. But weaknesses: takes poor angles on the ball and lacks the pure speed to chase down the ball carrier. Lacks the time, speed to mirror and maintain contact downfield. Loses the ball on slow developing plays and has a tendency to reach and grab when he gets antsy. Strength is extremely aggressive to come up and put his body in traffic to make tackles. So that's a good trait from him. You know, a lot of cornerbacks don't like to tackle, but that's a good trait from him. You know, if he's not a speed guy, but he's very physical and likes to tackle. So it is a good tackle. Very physical, sheds defenders, and works off blocks. Good toughness with recognition skills to fight through traffic and blow up screens. So he just has everything but speed, and that's definitely what you need. And he's a guy that could definitely get blown by and struggle against shifty receivers. So it'd be better for him to go up against, you know, your bigger receivers out there and physical guys, you know. So, but yeah, 6'1", 200 pounds at a Bowling Green. So, yeah, Ron signed about 8 or 9 guys. There's another guy from Virginia too who said on Twitter that he got signed. Didn't really look him up because sometimes guys get signed and then they get taken away from other teams. Like there was a linebacker from Texas A&M, forgot his name, but the Cowboys ended up signing him. Somebody tweeted, was like, oh, this guy is signing with the Commanders, a linebacker who's really good, who would have been a really good pickup, but the Cowboys ended up taking him. So, but the guys I'm intrigued by the most is definitely Jaquez Ezra. I feel like he can make the roster as a kick returner or a punt returner, man. He's got some speed to him, some wiggle, man, some burst. And I think he has solid hands, too. I think he's one of those guys that can fool around, one of those undrafted guys that can fool around and pop in the preseason like DeAndre Carter did. Or, you know, kind of like how Steve Sims came on the scene and have a nice punt return or make a guy miss, break some tackles, and just make that one explosive play, man. All it takes is that one play for people to look at you. And, you know, I feel like he's the guy that can do it. I do like the other wide receiver, McGowan, too. It's tough on who I just think who could actually make the roster between those two guys. But I like Ezra. I like his shiftiness and his creativeness, the way he can make guys miss. His contact balance a lot, too. I like both of them. Cole Kelly, you know, practice squad guy. That's what he's going to be. You know, Garrett Gilbert, he'll probably replace Garrett Gilbert. He'll probably be like the Steven Montez replacement out there. So I think that's all the guys that were picked up so far. We got, 2 linebackers, got a tight end, got an offensive lineman, got a couple tight ends, an offensive lineman, some wide receivers, and got a quarterback. So, all right, you guys. Thank you guys for rocking me throughout the whole draft, man. It's a grind for sure. Looking at all these players, watching all these players play is definitely a grind. Did the team get better? We'll see. I'll recap the draft in the next video. All right, you guys. Hail to Commanders. Peace.